everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features two quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Brady's Patriots going up against Smith's Chiefs. With that, we're up to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where we welcome in our broadcasters, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, as always, it is a frenzied atmosphere inside Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Tonight, we've got a good AFC matchup on tap between the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs. Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First down, Brady to the right side, and he's got Edelman. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and LeGarrette. Blunt, the featured back.
The big knock on him coming out of college was his lack of speed, but it's definitely not his lack of power. He runs right through opposing tacklers and sets things up big for his offense.
And big problems getting the play out, obviously. This will be a delay. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Got a man complete. It's Chris Hogan. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
To throw, it's Brady.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Second down, 8. From midfield, here's Brady. Incomplete. The wideout, Chris Hogan, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. Throwing is Brady on third down. Going underneath for Lewis. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Second down following the run.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Brady to throw on second down. Dumps it off to Lewis. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. Brady going to go on 4th down. And it is incomplete. The Patriots come up empty on 4th down. And this crowd loves it as their guys hold on the opening drive. Charles the lone setback. And he'll get it up the middle. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Tackle made there by Eric Rowe.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
On second down, Jamal Charles looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. 2 Patriots there to bring him down. So following the run, we'll see what they do here on 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
An extra corner on the field for New England here on 3rd down.
Yeah, another DB. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin as the Chiefs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. They're facing a tough spot, 3rd and 8 here to start things out. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So here's Dustin Colquitt now to punt this away for the Chiefs. Back deep, Danny Amendola for New England. This is brought in at the 21. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. Okay, partners, New England comes out here to take the field on offense. This is such an interesting story, how they've been able to do it year after year after year. Guys talk about parity in the NFL. Well, New England has kind of transcended that parity, and they've done it with guys that you don't normally think of as household names.
The parts keep changing for New England. That's the amazing part on offense, all right? Offensive linemen change, receivers change, running backs change. We know the one constant is Tom Brady, and that's a huge deal for them. But to be able to do it in what you call the parity times, and you're exactly right, everyone's supposed to be pretty equal. New England still a top 10 offense year in and year out. In 2016, they were number 4, and that helped them with a number 1 ranked defense as well.
Brady, and his throw is incomplete. That incompletion, Charles, gives me a chance to put you on the clock real quick. NFC teams last year that did not make the playoffs that might make a push this coming year.
Well, 3 that come to mind right away that we thought were going to be in 2016. Minnesota, remember the start they got off to before that didn't work out so well for them. Arizona, we thought they were a lock to be in the playoffs. In fact, many of us called them Super Bowl contenders. And Carolina, the defending NFC champs going into last season, they didn't make it. So I think that all 3 could return to former glory. I'm going to give you one way off the pace here. You ready?
Let's go.
The Los Angeles Rams. They get the young quarterback going, and that defense continues to live up to expectations. They can make a real strong push in the West.
They've got the D. You're right. They just need the O. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go on 4th down now with Brady. And this is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. And a great spot to start this drive from here. On 1st down, Smith. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Smith will hand it off here to Charles. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
On 1st down, it's Charles again. Cuts back, left sideline. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direct.
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Jamal Charles taking it in from 2 yards out, and the Chiefs are in for 6. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play, and result, touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here come the Patriots again on offense, the Super Bowl champions, and boy, they have been able to do it a lot of times, Charles, with unsung heroes, haven't they? Look at the names that led them through the playoffs. Hogan, White, Lewis, guys you just wouldn't think of.
Yeah, Deion Lewis, a 5th-round pick, 3 touchdowns against Houston in the divisional round. Chris Hogan, undrafted, He ends up having 180 yards in receptions, including 5 plays of 20 yards or more against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And how about James White, a 4th-round pick out of Wisconsin? Think about who he played behind while he was at Wisconsin, and he turns out to be the unsung hero of the Super Bowl. Would have been the MVP if it wasn't for Tom Brady.
And you mentioned James White at Wisconsin. He was behind who? Melvin Gordon and Monte Ball, right?
That's correct.
Let's look ahead for a quick minute. We don't have the schedules yet for next year, but what we do have are the 5 international games that will be played, 4 in London and then 1 again in Mexico. Jacksonville, Baltimore, Miami, New Orleans, Cleveland, Minnesota, Rams, and Arizona. Those in London, and then Mexico's going to get a great game. The Raiders and New England.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And just think about the ones in London. Remember, they're splitting them between the 2 different stadiums in London, so they get a different flavor in all of these places. But Mexico, for the 2nd straight year, the Raiders are coming to town. That should be a whole lot of fun.
Should be a ton of fun and a very good matchup. So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, it's Brady. Trying for Edelman again. This time he's got it. Last year for Edelman, just below 100 receptions, 98, over 1,100 yards, 3 touchdowns. And, you know, this is a guy that gets a lot of pub for being that perfect receiver for Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. What's his role going forward?
I think his role going forward is to be a bona fide #1 receiver in the NFL.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a